Power to the truth. This is Margo. This is Monday, May 13th, 2019, 6:34 p.m. Pacific Time, United States of America. So we're going to focus some more on Oroville. What's going on with the lake level? It's still rising, and the spillway has not been used yet. There's rain coming, huge rainstorm. We're looking at NASA Worldview here. This is the United States from today. Here's California, and we can see the storm is just coming in. And if we zoom out a little bit, we can see it's coming from all the way across the Pacific. And they're predicting rain for the most part of the next 10 days. Over in Northern California. So it's not looking good. An inch of rain equals 12 inches of lake level rise. So right now at 6 o'clock the lake level is at 889.04. So it broke 889 at 3 o'clock this afternoon, and it's going up. We can see that the inflow is going up because they had warmer weather in the last day or so, and now we've got this front coming in, and it's not looking good. I've got a couple of items that I want to share. The first one, here it is. This was on the Oroville News Live Facebook page. It was posted on May the 9th. And this is the only place that I can find this update posted. It's from the California Department of Water Resources, Lake Oroville Community Update, May the 9th. So I took a screenshot of this, and I'm just going to read it. I'll leave a link below. And they didn't post this on their news site. Wouldn't you think this is important news that we haven't had an update since sometime in April? This is an update and everyone's been asking for it, but once I read it, you're going to realize it's just bogus. So I'm going to read the whole thing. May 9th, and they divided up in sections. Oroville operations and main spillway update, lake level. Oroville's current reservoir level elevation is 888 feet. Total releases into the Feather River have decreased to 7,500 cubic feet per second, or CFS. DWR continues to safely manage Oroville Reservoir inflows from melting snowpack with releases from the Hyatt Power Plant located at the base of the dam. DWR is targeting high lake levels through spring and summer in accordance with normal state and federal regulations. A full lake means more access for the upcoming recreation season. Well, that's important. Now, Thermalito Diversion Pool and Brad Freeman Trail reopening. DWR and California State Parks opened the Thermalito Diversion Pool and Brad Freeman Trail to the public last Friday, May 3rd. Both areas are now open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to sunset. Kayakers, along with other non-motorized, non-trailered boats, can access the car-top boat launch located along Burma Road. Bikers and hikers can take advantage of the 2-mile section of the Brad Freeman Trail along the northern shore of the diversion pool. That's important. Main spillway. At this time, there is no need to use the main spillway. Releases from Hyatt Power Plant are adequate to meet operational requirements. DWR may need to use the main spillway again this spring to manage inflows from snowmelt and will notify the public and media if this is necessary. The Oroville main spillway is fully reconstructed and performed as designed when it was used in early April. When it is not in use, water on the spillway is from normal seepage through the spillway gates, which were not designed to be watertight. Well, I've read some things that are contradictory to that, but I'm just reporting here. Road construction. Repaving operations are ongoing on Oroville Dam Crest Road, the Spillway Boat Launch Facility, and other nearby roads. Paving construction vehicles will continue to use Hyatt Access Road through Wednesday, May 29th. DWR apologizes for any inconvenience and will notify the public when there are any changes to this information. Thank you for your continued patience. For more information, please contact Oroville at water.ca.gov or visit, and then they leave a link to the website for facts about the spillway. When you go there, there's nothing recent up there. And then they put a picture in underneath for the California Water Department, and then it says this page has moved. So they're not making it very easy for people to find this information. This is one Facebook post buried among all the other Facebook posts, and I had to go to their page. Somehow it did not show up in my news feed. I had to go to their page and scroll down until I found this. And then, what else was I going to show you? Oh, yeah. Here's the little Oroville News Live, their blog. And this is how you're supposed to stay informed. The best news around Oroville, Butte County, and more. Now, they notified everyone when they were going to be blasting. This was from May the 7th. This was the notice that they were going to be blasting, and that the Dam Boulevard, Oroville Dam Boulevard was going to be closed on Wednesday, May the 8th, because they were going to be blasting. And then, on May the 7th, they posted about a traffic stop leads to arrest and seizures of narcotics. That's important. And that's the last thing that was put up. And now it's May the 13th. Now, wouldn't you think this is important news for the Oroville community if they want to keep their people informed? I would think so. So, there's that. Now, we're going to look at the weather coming up for the Oroville area. I have Weather Underground pulled up for the next 10 days for Oroville. Let me refresh this so that I have the very latest information. So here we are on Monday. And, partly cloudy. No rain. Here we are on Tuesday. It's going to be cloudy. No rain on Tuesday. The rain is going to start on Wednesday. And I thought it was going to start on Thursday, but now they've upped it to Wednesday by it's going to start, well, they've got like What's this? 51% chance of rain by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's going to be raining by the nighttime. 100% chance of rain at midnight. And what is that? 98% chance of rain at 10 p.m. and so on. So 100% chance of rain through 2 o'clock in the morning. Then it goes down, then it goes back up, but they're anticipating almost an inch of rain on Wednesday. And we talked about the rain and the runoff, and for the whole area, an inch of rain is equivalent to 12 feet of rise in the lake level. So we're at over 889 feet. So there's less than 12 feet left until it goes to the top of the emergency spillway. So by the time it gets done raining on Wednesday, with the runoff, the water will have reached the top of the emergency spillway by the end of Wednesday, if they get that inch of rain. Then Thursday, they're expecting 0.59 inches of rain so over half an inch on Thursday. They've got a little break on Friday, and then they've got another heavy rain day forecast for Saturday. 0.88 inches of rain forecast for Saturday. Sunday, thunderstorms, 0.25 inches of rain. Monday, showers, 0.53 inches of rain. And then next Tuesday, the 21st, they still got rain in the forecast. Showers, 0.38 inches of rain. And Wednesday, the 22nd, showers, 0.2 inches of rain. So if you add all that up, it's like, I added it up a while ago, and it's like 3.5 inches of rain. So it was equivalent to like 45 feet of lake level rise. So, in addition to that, here's National Weather Service Sacramento. Here's their Twitter page, Wet Weather Returns. And they've got a cool front coming in. And in fact, they're expecting snow starting Wednesday. Here is a satellite perspective of the active wet pattern ahead. The strongest systems currently sit in the vicinity of western Alaska and back towards Siberia, currently expecting the midweek system to bring snowfall to the Sierra Valley, rain and thunderstorms and gusty winds. So some nasty weather is coming in. So here it is on Worldview. Here it was from the 12th. Here it was coming down from Alaska and from Siberia all the way across the Pacific Ocean. Look at that. It's like 1, 2, 3 systems kind of converging right here on this whole west coast. Here it is today, moving in. Okay, back to our Twitter feed. Here's the precipitation forecast for Northern California this week. So, let's see what this says. This is a larger view. Chico, 0.5 to 1 inch of rain. So Oroville is kind of down here a little bit. Grass Valley is predicting to get 1 to 2 inches of rain. Redding 1 to 2 inches. Susanville 1/2 inch to 1 inch. What is this? Weaverville 1 to 2 inches. Eureka 1 to 2 inches. Ukiah 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Santa Rosa, I mean, it's all the way down. It's a huge, huge system. It's humongous. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, it always can. Mountain snow, this was posted an hour ago, is expected to return late this week. Snow levels will begin above pass level Wednesday before falling to around 6,000 feet on Thursday. Mountain travel delays are possible. Be prepared. So, impact areas, well, it's up here, and here's your rain, and all along. So it just depends on your elevation, but right up here is an impact area. So it's hard to tell exactly where everything is from that map. So if anyone is planning on evacuating from the Oroville situation, I recommend that you do it before all the rain and snow comes. Where was that? So your good day of travel, your best day of travel is going to be tomorrow, Tuesday, May the 14th. If you can, just pack up your valuables, your pets, and your meds, and go. Just go. And, go. I'd get out of Northern California, and I wouldn't go south, because if the dam breaches, there's going to be flooding that's going to go all the way down this valley. It's going to come. I'll show you. Here's a good day with very few clouds. Here's Chico. So Oroville is right down here. So if this dam breaches and it floods, and I'm talking about a lot of water, it's going to spread out and go all the way down and come all the way down this valley and come. I've seen the flood map. I posted the flood map on my Subscribe Star page, and you can find that link in the description box. I'm not going to show it here because I don't want everyone to get flipped out, but if you live in the area and you want to see what will be affected if that dam goes, it comes all the way past, including parts of western Sacramento and further south, and then out like this. It's a huge area, and that's for a fair weather dam breach. That's not for raining and flooding, and considering all the rivers are going to be running high, and all of the reservoirs are high. I showed earlier this week, all of them are high. So, that's my best advice. And you see this white, this is where the snow is in the mountains, in the Sierras. That's the snow that hasn't melted yet. Some of it's clouds, but a lot of it's snow on the Sierras. Here we go. This is all snow. That's all snowpack. All the way down. So here's Oroville. So they still are going to be dealing with this snow, this snow, this snow, and some of this snow coming down, feeding down into there. And then we're going to get new snow on top of it, which will have to melt in addition with the rain. So I just see major problems coming. And I've had such a bad feeling about this. Here are the clouds where they're coming in today. It will be more cloudy tomorrow. But I will keep people updated as the best I can as to what's going on. That's all I know to do. But people have made their choices. I realized this today. And the people who live in Oroville choose to live in Oroville. And more than likely they were there 2 years ago when that spillway broke in 2017. And, nothing really happened then. They got evacuated in the middle of the night. And luckily the dam didn't break. And nothing really happened as far as damage to people's homes or anything. But that was then, this is now. I've been doing a lot of research, a lot of reading. I've read a lot of reports. Decided I'm not going to go into all of those, because if the government officials are not willing to listen to the smartest people in risk management, i.e. Bob Bia, who was hired to analyze the Katrina disaster, to analyze the BP oil disaster, the Horizon Project, the Challenger disaster. He's in his 80s. This is what he's been doing all of his life. He's got degrees and credentials out the wazoo. If they refuse to listen to him, then why do I think anybody's going to listen to me? No, everyone has made their choice. People are in the place where they've decided to be, and everybody has a choice. That's what I realized, and so I'm at peace. I'm still praying for everybody. I'm still praying that things are not as bad as I think they're going to be. And I'm praying, but mainly I'm praying for the people who are going to lose their lives, that they might happen to come to Jesus right before the very end. But when I studied spiritual warfare, I learned about principalities. And principalities are fallen angels. And they do not have our best interests at heart. And they are under direct rule of Satan himself. And they each have a territory. And that's why when you go to when you're like on vacation or you travel and you feel a certain energy or a certain vibe in some place and you think, wow, this is dark, or bad things always happen there, or certain people, they have a certain mindset. It's because of the spirit ruling that area. And the dark mind works in the people who live there. And they've made a choice to be there, and they've made a choice to buy into the whole thing by being there. And I've seen Satan's classroom, and I've seen how it operates. And this has the hand of Satan marked all over it with the way this information is so hidden. You know, one Facebook post is an update from May the 9th, and then they move the website. Are you kidding me? And Bob Bia, who's like the master at analyzing risk management, and he volunteered 3,000 hours, didn't even ask for, was not paid for it, volunteered to do his assessment, 124-page report that I read of what all was wrong with the dam and the spillway, and from the design to the way it was all done to 50-year-old parts that were worn out and cracked and needed to be replaced. And you know, were they replaced? I don't know. I don't know. But I decided that I'm at peace because I've done my part, and the spiritual forces are working things out down here. There's a spiritual battle taking place down here, and the people who choose to think that they're safe there, you know, they've made their choice. And there's nothing I can do or say that's going to change their minds. The lines have been drawn, and not just in Oroville, California, but all over the world. I realized this today. I had a huge realization that the lines have been drawn, and it's in your face now. And so everybody has made their choice. They've already decided what side they're going to be on. And all I can do is sit back and pray and ask for God's will to be done. And pray that I'm worthy to be in His presence. And ask for Jesus to use me as His vessel for His work. And that's what I'm doing. And so I'm giving it up. It was a hard decision to make, but there are lawsuits pending. There's, you know, it's way beyond my pay grade. And who's going to listen to me anyway? What's the point? I mean, all you have to do, if you can, is to go within and listen to your own feelings and your own intuitions, and you'll know the truth. Jesus says, I am the truth, the life, and the way. And the only way to the Father's kingdom is through me. And He was teaching, and He says, if you're my disciple, then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. But if you're not His disciple, then you won't have the heart and the mind to see the truth. And that's the problem. That's the problem. And when you do become His disciple, you do change. Your mind changes. Your thought process changes. Your DNA changes. Your emotions change. Your physical body changes. Everything changes when you're ready to give up this world, because it's not your world anyway. and lay down your life, because nothing matters here. This is only material things. What's the most important is the spiritual and the Father's kingdom. That's the most important. And until you realize that, you're not gonna have that guidance within. You're not gonna be able to hear that still small voice. It's gonna be muddled up. The signals are all gonna be muddled up in your mind and in your brain. All those radio stations are all gonna be trying to come in all at once, and you can't tune in to the one you want, which is God's station. You're not gonna have that tractor beam to heaven. So, I can see it coming. I've been feeling it for weeks. But I've given it up. And I'm just asking for God's will to be done. And before we move on to earthquakes, I'd like to read a psalm, Psalms 23. And this is good if you're in a storm or you're not knowing what to do. I recommend everybody learn this because you're going to need it. The storm is coming. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. We're going to need to know our shepherd. We're going to need him sooner than you think. Okay. Let's look at some earthquakes now. I'm going to close out these Oroville links. Okay, we got USGS pulled up here. All magnitudes for the last 24 hours. We got 273 on the map. We're seeing an uptick in the numbers all the way around this ring of fire here. And of those 272, we have 38 that are 2.5 magnitude or higher. So let's see what's going to fall off the map first. That's at 7:11. This is a 5.1. I think I showed this yesterday. There might be a little bit of overlap because I did a late show. This was north of New Zealand, L'Esperance Rock, at 7:11 last night. Let's go ahead and start down here. Here's a 5.2 near Ohonuatonga at 5:01 this morning. 4.7 Viney, Tonga at 1:18 this morning. 4.5 Nadoy Island, Fiji, 9:41 this morning. 418 kilometers deep, very deep. 4.7 south of the Fiji Islands, 4:38 this morning. 517 kilometers deep, very deep. Those deep ones will make the tectonic plates move around the planet. Here we have one south of Australia, 4.9, Western Indian and Arctic Ridge. This came in at 4:23 this afternoon. Coming on up to Indonesia, we have a 5.3 at Kimbe, Papua New Guinea. This one happened at 5:54 this morning. So it has a little wave sign. So let's see if... No, there's no tsunami warning from that. Nothing from today. Next, here's one on land, 4.7 near Ambunti, Papua New Guinea at 10:20 last night, 130 kilometers deep. Then there's a 4.9 near Amohai, Indonesia, 9:53 this morning. A 4.3 near Amahusu, Indonesia, 6:42 this evening, 345 kilometers deep, very deep. Then two down here in the Philippines, a 4.5 near Sarangani, 4.6, sorry, at 3:53 this morning, 168 kilometers deep. And a 4.5 near Kalbe at 8:59 last night, 146 kilometers deep. Next, up here is a 4.5 near Iwo Jima, Japan. Came in last night at 7:58 p.m. 5.0 near Izu Islands, Japan region, last night at 10:01 p.m. Here's one off the mainland, 4.6 near Nami, Japan at 2:59 this morning. And here's another one, 4.4. They're calling it Russia, but it's to the east of this Hokkaido island of Japan. 4.4 at 2:01 this afternoon. Next, down here near Mayati, this little baby island just between Madagascar and Africa, a 5.0 happened near Pamanzi, Mayati at 5:20 this afternoon. See, it's right next to it. Next was how many's here? Three stacked up here at Greece at the same place at 4.5, 8:30 this morning, 4.9, 9:57 this morning, and a 4.5 at 2:27 this afternoon. Pyrgos, Greece. Basically, everything's right there. Now coming over to South America, we've got two down here, a 5.0 near Puquio, Peru at 5:41 this morning, and a 5.2 near Pampas, Peru at 12:10 this morning. Next, here's one on land at Nicaragua, a 4.2 near Muy Muy, Nicaragua at 8:39 last night. Coming on up, here's one on Baja, 2.5 near Maniadero at 6:13 this afternoon. I think that's all of the international quakes. Amahusu, Indonesia. Did I call that one out? No, that one just came in. 6:42 p.m. 345 kilometers deep. 4.3. That one's new. I missed it. I got that one. I don't know how I missed that one. It probably just came on the map. Now let's go to all magnitudes, starting with Hawaii. We've got 8 on the map. I'll just call them off. 2.0, 2.0, 2.1, 2.2. That's at Mauna Loa at a minus 1.2 kilometer depth. 1.8. That's at Kilauea. 2.1. That's in the ocean. 1.9 at Mauna Loa, minus 1.8 kilometer depth, and a 1.8 at Kilauea at 0 depth. So that's showing activity, definitely. Next, Dominican Republic. We've got 7 here today. Looks like we have a stack. We've got 3 stacked up on the western end here. I'll just go around calling them off. 2.8, 2.6, 2.4, 2.0, 1.7, 3.3, and 2.4. So there's those. Now let's come on up to Alaska. We've got 88 here today for all magnitudes. Let's see what's 2.5 magnitude or higher here. We've got 4, 2.8 Talkeetna, 3.8 False Pass, 3.6 Circle, and a 2.7 at Willow. So let's zoom in on these, on the smaller ones. Here's a 2.3 at Cape Yakataga. Here's some down in this little armpit here, and we can see them just going up a line up the middle of the state, and then some over here on this side. This is kind of new. Circle is having an uptick. We've got 5 here today, including that 3.6. Here at Koktovik, we've got 4 up there. Let's look at Kobuk. We've got 22 here today. Some of them are at 0 depth, so right at the surface. These are mainly 1's range. Here's one over on the edge. Here's a 1.9 near Nome, Alaska at 9:13 last night. Now let's come on down to the lower 48. We're going to start over here in North Carolina. We've got 2. Looks like they're stacked up. The first one was a 1.8 at 2:17 this morning, and then a 2.1 at 2:24 this morning, both at Franklin, North Carolina. So just a few minutes apart there, 7 minutes apart. Coming on across, we've got a 2.9 near Perry, Oklahoma at 12:49 this morning. Coming on into Utah, we've got 1.9 at Junction and a 0.6 at Junction and 1.6 at Cedar City down here. Now coming on up into the Yellowstone region. We've got 13 here today. So it looks like we've got some stacked up, like 3 here at Old Faithful Geyser. We've got a couple down here at Soda Springs. We've got 4 here at Chalice. This is the 2.5, 1.6, 1.7, 1.2. And then we've got 1 up here at Whitehall. And then we've got 3 over here by West Yellowstone. So that's kind of what's going on at Yellowstone. Now we can see that the earthquake makers are back at work with our blasting operations here. Here in Washington State, let's look at the real-time tremor map. Refresh this. In the last 3 hours, they've had 1.3 hours of tremors. So almost half the time. The majority of them are down here south of Eugene. Okay, in the last 12 hours, they've had 3.7 hours of tremors. So mainly southwest of Eugene, Oregon, and southwest of Salem, and then to the west of Eugene. Just a couple up here by Seattle and Tacoma. Last 24 hours, you can see where they've gathered. So it's showing a lot of movement on the tremors. 12.9 hours of tremors. So it's over half the time. Okay, here's 0.4 earthquake at Friday Harbor. Here's a 0.7 magnitude explosion near Winlock. Here's a 1 magnitude explosion near Morton. Here's a 0.8 earthquake near Prosser and a 1.1 near Desert Air. Moving on down, Oregon is not reporting. Well, they've got 1 here on the border. A 1.7 magnitude explosion near Oroville Lake, California. Moving on down, let's hop over to Nevada next. We've got a 2.4 magnitude explosion near Carlin, Nevada. That's up in the northern area. This came in at 2:10 this afternoon, right at the surface, it looks like. Here's another explosion of 1.7 magnitude near Tonopah at 2:36 this afternoon. So we're seeing them peppered around in southern Nevada. These are all pretty small, it looks like. And here in the Reno area, here's a 0.7 at Lake Tahoe and a 0.5 in near Mount Rose, it looks like. Let's see what's 2.5 magnitude or higher here. Here's a 2.5 near Markleeville. Right here. And then there was a 0.5 right next to it. Let's come down this east side of California next. Here we have Mammoth Lakes We've got 8 here today. They're small. They're 2.2 is the largest, and the rest are 1s and under. Coming on down, we've got a couple on the Nevada-California border there. We've got 0.3 at Lone Pine, and then here at Coso Junction, including that one at Lone Pine, we've got 17 here today. Let's see. Okay, we've got 4 here at Coso Junction that are 2.5 magnitude or higher. They're stacked up. We've got a 2.9, 2.8, 3.0, and a 3.2. So that's getting higher. So we're seeing the number increase and the magnitude increase. So the rest of those are mainly 1s and under. Here's a 2.9. Oh, I called that out. So there's that area. Next, we've got 1.8 magnitude quarry blast at Boren, 1.1 magnitude quarry blast at Mojave, and here in Southern California, we're seeing 31 here today. Let's see if any of these are 2.5 or higher. No, they're not. So, this is kind of a standard number, kind of an average number of earthquakes down here. And they're just scattered around. This line is the San Andreas fault line. So most of these are 1s and under today. I'm not even seeing, I didn't see any 2s even. They're 1s and under. Then coming on up the San Andreas fault line, we've got a 1.6 at Avenal. Here's a 0.9 Tres Pinos. 1.2 Morgan Hill. Down in the San Francisco area, 0.7 Kensington. Here's a 2.2 at Yountville. Here's a 2.0 Redwood Valley. And then the Geysers has 30 here today. That's kind of an average number between 20 and 30 here at the Geysers. And these are pretty small. Let's see, there's a 2.0, that's one of the higher ones. Here's a 2.4, 2.2, and the rest are 1s and under. So I think that's a wrap. Okay, we saw that one, Omahusu. We saw all of these. Yeah. So I'm going to wrap it up for today. So, like I've already said, time is short. And I recommend everyone get your spiritual houses in order right now. Nothing like the present. So until next time, God bless you. Go in peace and good night.